right, so we are back with Lisa Waters Lane in the studio. She comes each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? And then what have you seen here at the garden center? Because it's not like you're alone when the gophers are eating your plants. Everyone's got them. It's not with the grubs or when things are in bloom or butterflies are going. What's that? It's a painted lady. It's really small. What is that? Well, it's a baby lady butterfly. So we try to help with that. And so we're in the peak of the season now. We're having record customers counts coming in at the garden center. Record
people are
plants.
ready to garden.
They're ready to garden. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, put that down just a little bit for you. So the microphone going. So we pick up that beautiful voice of yours.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. It doesn't carry very far.
So the roses, I see you were buried alive out there just a moment ago. So they're here.
They are here.
There's 1,300. It's crazy. I don't know how we're gonna deal with all of them. All of them are in bloom. All of them you can smell and touch and play. It's just if you're thinking roses, that's a good time. It's probably your best selection, best time to choose and plant a rose, and the season's right.
That's true. Very true. And we have any color, any style, anything you want. We have it.
I was explaining to listeners that I'm a flower gardener. How would you describe what is your? Yeah, I know. I'm a flower child. I love gardening with flowers.
You were born in the 60s.
Yeah. So anyway, don't tell people that. They might think I'm actually young. Anyway,
they can see.
I know. Well, the video they can tell. Yeah. The audio folks on the radio waves, they can't tell.
Young.
That's right. So anyway, how would you describe yourself as a gardener?
I don't know. I'm kind of is there an omnivore gardener? I change it from year to year. So this year I'm really into the sedums and the succulents and euphorbias and definitely trying a lot of those. Some years I'm really into just the annual flowers.
I would say over the winter you were into just a husband's kind of thought. You're big into houseplants. You loved brought a lot of houseplants home. Different, funky, weird, some rare houseplants. So now you've moved outside and you're doing the succulent thing. So I just like flowers. I'm a flower guy.
But it's our daughter Megan. She loves houseplants.
Yeah.
So she's still into houseplants and she brings them home all the time. Yeah. Pretty soon I'm not going to be floor space. It's going to just all be great. Not complaining. I love it. It's nice. But
all of our kids were raised in the garden center. So that was daycare. We'd take them to school. And then we'd come to work. And then one of us pick them up, mainly you. We were always there for games, always there to pick them up, always there. And that's a great thing about a small business is you have flexibility. You work all the time, but you got flexibility to take gaps out of your day to be there. And so we kind of tag teamed a lot of that. You plan your day each morning, go, okay, who's going to do this? Where are we going to do that? And then I don't know, they're all gardeners and they would come into the garden center and they've just grown up around plants and they like plants. I liked going to the garden center as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah.
I just figured everybody went to a garden center as a kid.
So garden questions?
Yeah, we do have garden questions. So Jack has a Bradford pear that he's noticed some of the leaves around the edges are black.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of a weird shape, kind of funky looking. Wants to know what's going on with that.
So that can happen to Bradford pears. It can happen to red buds. What else? The Japanese maples, plums, fruit trees. They like fruit, especially the pitted fruits. They like those. Yes. It's called thrip, T-H-R-P, thrip. Also, a common name for them is no-see-ums because you can't see them. They're so small. The only way I can tell, you take your cell phone and you take a branch and you just tap it on top of the branch and you'll see dust crawling on top of that black screen. The dust is thrip. And what they like to do, they've got a scarifying mouth part. They scrape the tissue on top of that leaf off the plant, and they're digesting it. And so the leaf is actually reacting to that by curling, or black tips. So they're actually sucking the juice and eating the material off that leaf. So they can cause holes, warped kind of leaf parts. The flowers can get black tips, or the tips of the leaves can be black. Those are all indications of thrip. You'll never see them, but if you see curled leaves, you have thrip. That's it. You should spray them. It's just like that. Okay, what do you spray them with? I would say if it's a tree, especially an older, more mature tree, we make a product here called multi-purpose insect spray. It's the kindest, least offensive type of bug killer you can have. We actually replicate an organic material, and then you can spray that tree with that, and it will obliterate the thrip. They're literally attacking the plant by the thousands and thousands. I don't know how many, it's thousands. It's like dusting the plant and eating it alive. They'll be with us until June or so, until it's really hot. Once we're up into the 95s or so, they'll kind of disappear. They don't like the heat. They like the cool. They like spring. And so spray it with multi-purpose insect spray. Now that's a concentrate. It's 2 tablespoons in a gallon of water. And, or is it 2 ounces? Read the label. I have to really I have to tell you legally, read the label.
I thought it was 3 tablespoons.
I think it makes, I know a pint makes 16 gallons of spray. I know that. And so you'll probably put that into a hose-in sprayer for a tree, so you can spray it 20, 30 feet up into the air. And so use a good hose-in sprayer, put it in full strength. We can help you with that. We'll set it up for you. And then just spray that tree from a couple different angles. Come back at it in about 2 weeks. And then all the new growth should come out clean, straight, less effective. A good thing about that multi-purpose insect spray too, it's got a repelling action. So it tends to repel aphids and thrip for about a week or so. They're flying insects, so they come in and they just like clouds of them. You'll see them on your back deck when you're sipping coffee. You'll see dust flying around the backyard, little specks. Those are thrip, and they're looking to eat your roses and your Bradford pears, all your fruit trees, because they're tasty.
Right. So get a handle on them.
Yeah, don't let them go. They won't kill a tree. They just make it look really ugly.
Funky.
Or plants. They'll keep them from blooming. They'll keep them from leafing well. You just want to spray them.
I agree. All right. Paul has our next question. He had to have a large cottonwood that finally bit the dust, cut down. His question is, how long should he wait before planting another tree, and how close to that original stump can he go?
Yeah, good. Those are good questions, actually. So you'll get all kinds of internet stuff off that. It's just, and none of it's right. So I would say prevent the suckers. So cottonwoods are notorious for where you make the cut. They'll send up new 20 suckers coming up. Don't let those grow. They'll be weak. They'll be short-lived. Kill them off. We've got a brush and stump killer. What I would do is I drill around the cambium layer, that outer bark layer, drill some cordless drill or something, drill some holes, pour that in full strength, the brush and stump killer. And that'll kill off that root structure without tainting the soil. And so now you could spray that or kill that stump. It'll start to rot. And then you could plant another tree like right now, because it's not affecting the surrounding soil, just that root structure, so it won't sucker. So now where to plant? How close can you plant? Now, as roots rot in the ground, they taint the soil and prevent other plants from rooting in that space. So you really want to give it some, this is a natural way the forest protects itself and spaces itself out as old trees die, new ones grow. They're naturally composting and creating separation. If you know that about trees, go out about 5-6 feet and start digging. And if you hit a root, dig somewhere else. and cottonwoods have
good luck.
Just huge root structures. And I would probably come out 6, 7, maybe 10 feet, and you'll find a hole. You'll find a pocket of soil where you could put a different kind of tree. You might even change it up and not put a cottonwood. Cottonwoods are short-lived. They grow fast, but then they flame out. Same with willows, same with sycamores. They're just big, fast-growing, short-lived trees. So your maples, birch, locusts, there's so many, ash. There's so many varieties that you can grow in there. Yeah, elms. There's new varieties of elms that aren't trashy, like the Siberian elms that we have, that are great choices. Go with those. Oh, out of time. Wow. Ken and Lisa Lane. the Mountain Gardeners will be right back.